What's going on, everybody?
What's up? What's up?
It's the Ooh Ladies First Panel, and we are back, okay, for a special interview, baby. When I tell you we've been waiting to get Mel because we knew y'all wanted us to get Mel, okay? And listen, that's why I fucked with Mel because Mel definitely made her way back around to her DMs a couple of times to make sure that this happened. So without any further ado, now that Jay Lee is back on the screen, okay, let's go ahead and bring in Miss Melody Holt. Yes.
What's up? Hey, ladies. How y'all doing? Look at
Hey,
y'all.
ma'am.
What's up? What's
How
up?
are you?
Hi. I am doing well. I'm so excited about speaking with you guys tonight. I actually was booked for a 50th birthday party, so I've been having fun all night. It's been great, and I stepped out just to share some time with you all. So my day is going very well.
We
Awesome.
appreciate you, and we are not going to hold you. So we just gonna go ahead and get straight into what we had planned for the
Oh,
night.
shoot.
Before we get into
Okay.
the mess, which is a little fun. All right. So, as you saw, is it worth it? Okay. New little something that I added just
Okay.
for Mel. Well, we look at some really
Okay.
nice homes, and Mel can let us know if she feels it is worth the price. Okay. So we have
Okay.
here a home in Huntsville, Alabama. Okay.
Uh-huh.
1.5.
Okay.
7,358 square feet. It is a
Okay.
7 bathroom and a 6 bed. Now we're gonna go through the pictures, Mel, and I
I'm
would love
looking.
for you. I would love for you to give us, your expertise in this situation.
All right. So I'm familiar with Chandler Road, and which is on the southeast side of Huntsville. I am looking at so you're looking at approximately $200. So for a custom home, about $200 a square foot based on where it is. That's not a bad price at all, especially considering we are in a seller's market, meaning there are more homes than or there are more people than there are homes. So sellers are able to set their price kind of where they would like to set it. Look at those views. When you talk about views in Huntsville, we have a lot of beautiful mountains where you're able to look out into the city. So I see this place has some great views as well. I would like to know what year was it built. That would definitely play a role for me in terms
Okay.
Mm.
of it being 1.59.
Okay.
Um,
Let's see if I can. Let me see if I can
okay.
find it for you. Okay.
Yeah, I wonder if the
So
year's on there that it was
I
built.
think it's in facts and features. Well, it
okay.
was written on the last page.
Okay, it was on facts and features on the last page. Got you.
Um,
There
Okay.
we 2016.
2016, so like 5 years ago. Okay, so it's relatively new.
Yes.
So yes, it is worth it. Yes, ma'am.
Mm.
Okay. This is a beautiful
Hmm.
home. Yes.
It
Okay.
is.
Aspirations,
It
aspirations.
look
Okay.
all ducked off and stuff.
So, Mel, I'm going to ask you a question before we get into the next one. What exactly is your expertise in real estate?
Absolutely. So I am a custom home builder. I've actually been in renovations on properties for since 2010. So I actually do something called property preservation, and I teach women and men, but most of my students are women, African American females, how to get into this multi-billion-dollar industry, which is where you are literally getting work orders from the bank to perform services on their foreclosure. So everything from evictions, inspections, lock changes, maintaining the lawn, painting, roof work. If there's fire damage, storm damage, you're actually doing work on the properties until the bank gets those properties sold. So if the bank chooses to keep it in its portfolio for 4, 5, 6 years, you're cutting the lawn every 2 weeks for those years. You're completing winterizations. If a storm comes through and there's damage, the bank is paying you to go and repair for the storm damage. So I started doing that in 2010. I got my home builder's license in 2016 because we decided we wanted to do a custom home building company. And so I have a lot of real estate experience, honestly. I've been in the game for a while.
oh, you're muted, Bondy.
You muted.
Sorry, I was trying to do two things. I know y'all be trying to do two things at once, trying to talk and also pull up the next home.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the next home at $390,000, also in Huntsville. Okay, and I wanted more mid-range because some of us can't afford 1.5. So mid-range
right.
it is. And sometimes these homes, I feel like, they be trying to charge you and it'd be like, So I wanted you to go ahead and give us your opinion on this one.
Well, I'm noticing it's only been on the market for 37 days. 9 times out of 10, the seller will be lowering their price. It is also in South Huntsville, which is where the other property was located. I can tell that they have taken some time to do some upgrades. The hardwoods look either new or recently stained. It looks like there's fresh coats of paint as well on the property. So it looks as if they definitely put some work in before putting it on the market. I see it was built in 1960. So to be honest with you, when it comes to the south side of Huntsville, a lot of times those properties are higher per square footage because it is on the south side of Huntsville. So this home being, going for, what was it, 390, I'm not surprised.
Yes.
However, I can guarantee you they will be lowering their price some because it just hit the market. And so when you're talking about spending almost $500,000, like what kind of acreage land? Let's see what 0.31 acres. So you don't even have an acre. They're definitely going to end up lowering the price some, sure. So if you were wanting to really, if you fell in love with this home, you really wanted to purchase it, I would definitely tell you to give it a little bit of time for the newness of it to wear off, because everybody goes in wanting to get what they think is the top dollar. But your home is only worth what somebody is willing to pay for it, not what you think it's worth. So I would say wait a little bit, let it stay on the market a little bit, and then make an offer under what they're asking on this particular one.
Okay, so I have a a question to ask since you said that. What advice would you give to new home buyers?
Oh, absolutely. First of all, make sure that your home you're purchasing is an investment. Don't look at purchasing your first home as this is the home I'm going to stay in for the rest of my life, that I'm going to die in and have kids in, all of that, my forever home. No, that is not how it should work. Whenever you're purchasing your first home, it should be because it's an amazing deal, whether there's plenty of equity in the home, because it's foreclosure, or whether it is in an area that is being gentrified and the price is going to go up. So you're going to end up making money. It should always be about how do you make money. Don't go purchasing a first home on a home because you fell in love with it and you want to stay there forever. No, ma'am.
Mel, I'm loving hearing you talk so much about your expertise in real estate. I'm getting girl boss. I'm getting educational information. I love it.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, this season we saw you and Martell go back and forth, of course. But he was like, "You was a teacher when I met you." So my question is,
when we both were actually in college. I graduated a semester before him, and we both were teachers.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
He resigned 4 months before me.
Okay. Yeah. That's something new that I'm learning as well. So this rolls into my question. I wanted to know, did you always have an idea of being in real estate, or was that more so something that Martell got you in? How much credit?
Absolutely. So what was so interesting, honestly, and we talked about this at one point. So when I was in high school, I was in something called the Business and Finance Academy. So the focus was we took upper level classes, our schedule, that we were just introduced to a lot of things while in high school, right? And so I was the first graduating class. I worked at a bank for 3.5 years. I started working at a bank when I was 15 until I graduated high school. And, in all the departments, teller, loan department, receptionist, I worked everywhere at this particular local bank. And so I remember in the academy, one of the projects we had to do, I actually created a pamphlet called Rogers. My maiden name is Rogers, and it was Rogers Real Estate. So my family, on my mother's side, are mostly farmers. So they've always owned land, always been into investment in property. And then on my father's side, always owned land, big on investment in property. So for me, I knew that I wanted to have a side thing with real estate. And that didn't come back to my mind until I was in college. Like, oh man, I remember when I made this pamphlet, Rogers Real Estate, in high school. So I always had an interest, and I had an uncle who was the first multimillionaire in my family, and that came by way of his restaurant and him in real estate. So I guess I was kind of motivated to want to have something to do with real estate, right? And so when Martell and I met, him having an interest and love for real estate too, it was just, something that we had in common. So for us to go into that together was no surprise, for sure.
Awesome. Thanks for giving us that background, because I didn't know all of that. So I'm really glad to hear. Look, you got me over here listening. I'm like, oh, girl, I may have to get one of Mel classes over here, child, so I can get
Please
school.
Come on. I got a masterclass starting October 18th. It's on my website, masterclasswithmelody.com. Come on through. Come on through.
Okay. Now, I want to switch gears a little bit. I know we talked about real estate, but now I kind of want to get into some things. And I want to know, like, are you dating? And if you are dating, would you ever consider bringing them onto the show?
So for me, my main priority when it comes to who I'm dating is myself and my children. There's a big change, of course, that has happened in our lives and that we're still figuring out. So that's my main priority. Bringing someone onto a show is not even anything I think about, honestly, right now, because that's not where my mind is. My mind is more so trying to figure out the stability piece and keeping things as consistent as possible for my kids. So that's like my big thing right now. I don't know if I would ever want to bring anyone on the show. I really don't even think about that, honestly.
Amen.
Okay.
So knowing what you know now, what you went through, what partner would be ideal for you, just knowing things you've learned since your last relationship?
So a few things I would desire or look for, I guess, another go around, should that come, would be someone for sure who's loyal and committed, because someone who's loyal and committed on those moments when you're not seeing eye to eye 100% and you're not all head over heels, butterfly in love, your loyalty and commitment is what's going to still keep you, moving and doing what you need to do and supposed to do, even in those moments, because every relationship is going to have those moments, right? So definitely someone who understands loyalty, commitment, who understands family and puts that first, and also who understands respect, because when respect is there, there's just certain things you're not about to let go down anyway, because of the level of respect that you have. I think I would also want to have someone who has grown up, and this may sound crazy, don't kill me for it, but just real talk, someone who grew up with a family structure. So then they can appreciate and understand family. See, when I was 22 and got married, I didn't think about that. Now, as a 35-year-old divorced woman, I think about, okay, my next partner, I would love for their parents to have been married, for them to understand and still be married, right? And understand the importance of family and what that means. Because so many times we have people kind of from broken homes, so they're broken. Then they're getting with someone and still broken and don't understand what it means to be committed because they didn't see that. So that's important to me for sure in the future.
Okay. So piggybacking off that, looking back, do you believe there were any red flags that you will avoid moving forward? Besides them not being in a two-parent household?
Red flags.
Things that maybe at the beginning. Yeah, go ahead.
Self-absorbed, kind of conceited or arrogant. When you're young, that comes off as like, oh, he the man, sure himself. But again, that's 22 versus 35. So you have to be careful where that line is in terms of, wait a minute, are they confident or are they arrogant? Because there is a difference. If you are at a place where you feel like you're at a certain level and you're kind of looking down on other people, I ain't checking for that. And now I understand what that difference looks like. So for me, that would be a red flag for sure.
Valid. So I would love for you to address this rumor for us.
Every girl, it's always a rumor out here about Melody Holt, baby, because I don't know what we talking about. What was?
Every time we watch the show, people be like, Mel is producing. So this is like kind of in regards to the power that you have on the show. So the people want to know, are you keeping Ariane off the show? And would you ever be open to her being on the show? Do you have any influence in that?
I will say that the Oprah Winfrey Network is a woman-centered network. And so because of that, I think that, that is what it is.
We'll take that.
Okay.
It is. Mm-hmm.
I remember there was like a scene with Wanda. You guys were like at Marceau's restaurant, and she brought up this young lady, and I believe she asked you if you knew her or were you talking to her before, and you said no. So I was wondering when I saw that if you probably knew her prior to things that took place between she and Martell. Were you guys familiar at all?
No, absolutely not. No, I mean, I'm a businesswoman, entrepreneur, have been since I was 22. Totally different circles. Never heard of, seen, none of that. No.
Mm-hmm.
So there you have it. Okay. So as far as the cast goes, we see a lot of you and Martell, and this we're getting a lot of like Tisha and Marceau, and even Kimmy and Maurice. But do you feel like the other castmates are as open as you and Martell have been the whole 3 seasons, or are y'all the most open with what's really going on in y'all lives?
I would say we've definitely been the most open. I don't think there's any question about that. I think this season, it was one of those things where, for me, considering again everything that I just gone through, it was kind of one of those things where everybody got to bring it to the table. Like, I'm not about to be doing all this. I'm not about to be arguing with nobody every episode, every scene. I ain't doing it. Like, no, it's time for everyone to step up to the plate. And so I think that's why for this season, you guys have been seeing more into their lives and their issues or their marriages and their businesses, because I know for me, I can't speak for Martell, but he probably was the same way. But I know for me, I was at so much peace before I started filming this season, to the point where I was trying my best to make sure that peace wasn't disturbed as much as possible. So when I look back at this past season, I think I got into it or had blow-ups maybe 3 times. Wanda, 2 with Martell in Vegas, and I think that was it. And Wanda really just went off and walked away. Other than that, if you pay attention, any other conflict type situation this season, my tone was very calm. My voice remained calm. I didn't do a lot of back and forth in this because I was determined to try my best to maintain the level of peace that I had received from last season to the start of filming this season.
Okay.
And I would say I wouldn't even count Wanda as a blow up.
Yeah, it really wasn't a blow up. It was just like I said what I had to say.
Right.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I wasn't checking for it.
So switching gears a little bit, another backstory question. Did you know Maurice when he was with Kiowa? And if so, how did the divorce affect your relationship with her?
I did not.
You did
I did not know Maurice before then. No, whenever I met Maurice, it was in 2014. I met all of them, Maurice, Marceau, Tisha, Kimmy, 2014. So, no, I didn't know her at all.
Okay.
Okay. So one of the topics that I just couldn't wrap my mind around this season was why did you drop off Mel the bottle of champagne? I was like, what? So from your point of view, do you think that Marceau ever flirts with you or gives off the impression that he's flirting with you on the show?
I don't take Marceau, the little gander we have or whatever, I don't take that as flirting. Like, it's something that I could do with Maurice, like, or Kimmy or anybody, like, yeah, whatever. It's just fun because we were all friends. I think people forget that we literally were all friends before this show. So all of us we were all kicking it. Like, when I say we were at each other's house, like 4 days a week, probably, sometimes 5. That's how much we were hanging out before this show. So at the end of the day, there's a certain chemistry. Doesn't mean flirtatious, doesn't mean sexual, but there's a certain chemistry with us. We all can laugh and cut up with each other because we all were real friends at one point, So I don't take, and the reason I don't take it a certain way when Marceau and I have our back and forth moments is really because he's never said anything out of the way to me. He's never done anything out of the way to me. So why would I sit over here and say this man is flirting? He ain't never flirted when cameras ain't around. So why would I think he's flirting?
Right.
No, I think people just be reaching. Like, it's ridiculous, but that's what, people do.
Yeah, we know.
And speaking of, when I hear reaching, I'm thinking about Marceau reaching. What are your thoughts about him constantly bringing up threesomes?
That's talking about Maurice?
I think it was Marceau. Well, I know Maurice brought it up as well because he kept bringing up, I believe it was Destiny on the show.
Yeah, I think you're talking about Maurice and Kimmy and Destiny.
Well, I was asking about Marceau because just this episode tonight, he
Oh,
referenced
girl, I
it
ain't
like
seen
while
it.
they've been on this trip. He referenced it a few times.
Oh, okay. I don't know. Right? I mean, what's the question?
Just your thoughts, because I feel like y'all have an understanding of Marceau in the background, and I feel like everybody sees it but Tisha. So when he said that, I wondered if y'all felt like that was kind of tied to his proclivities that we may have no evidence of either way. I'll say it like
Yeah,
that.
I can't speak on that. I don't know. Mm.
Okay.
I
I
don't know if
respect
he's
that.
saying it being funny. I don't know if he's like, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I told you this would be a little messy, so you know.
That's okay. No, y'all good. I like all questions.
So, how would you characterize yourself versus the women? Y'all each are so different, but even have some similarities. So, is there a difference in y'all personalities that you could talk about? That's not like too much.
Yeah, differences in our personalities. Okay, so I would say me, Destiny, and Kimmy are super outspoken. We're very direct for sure. So that's a similarity actually. We are very outspoken, we're very direct. But that's what I respect. I can like that's cool with me. I like people being very direct because that's how I am. So my feelings ain't gonna get easily hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like if anything, I'm be like, thank you for being 100 and saying exactly what you mean and meaning what you say. Not to get mad, feelings ain't about to be hurt. Um, Tisha is more, she holds things in and she's more, she's just I'm not gonna say doesn't like confrontation, but I think that she just holds things in and then eventually it comes out. And sometimes it just comes out in a misunderstood way or a way that comes off as kind of sometimes annoying. But she holds her feelings in. Me, I don't like friends to hold their feelings in because then things build up and then before you know it, a small issue has gone into a big issue because now you
Bigger
got
issue.
5 things instead of just one thing. So I don't really like that. But that's definitely a difference. Yeah.
What about Tiffany?
Tiffany is very direct. I think she's very direct too, very outspoken for sure.
Okay.
There
So with
are
that,
just some people who don't bite their tongues in this group, and there are some who do.
so speaking of that,
Mm-hmm.
watching the show back, do you now kind of understand where Destiny was coming from when it comes to the way Tiffany would like ask questions or inquire about you guys' relationships?
So what I was what I would say is I never not understood. Let me be clear. It's never that I not understood. For one, when Tiffany came to Destiny's Brunch, if people go back and watch and pay attention, and I kind of addressed this on my YouTube channel on a video that I did, but if people go back and watch and pay attention, there were ways that I defended what was being said in terms of on Destiny's behalf in the way that, like, you can't tell me how I should be a friend or what I should say or what I should say, because who knows, there may be some things I see you do with your friends that I feel like, well, you shouldn't have done that. You should have handled it this way. Everybody got an opinion about how you should handle things. For me, when Tiffany said what she said, first off, if you look at my facial expression, I was totally shocked because neither one of them shared with me the conversation they had at my home. I didn't even remember that they'd ever met before. So if you watch the scenes leading to that, I was like, hey, my friend Destiny, she's having a birthday brunch. You should come with me. Duh, if I knew that they already knew each other or had met before, I wouldn't have said, do you know?
And she said
right?
no. So she said
Yeah, and
no
she
in that
said no.
scene
So that's
too.
what I'm saying. I didn't recall. Like I used to have this in our house all the time and invite tons of people. I don't know who talk to each other and who don't. I'm not walking around saying who's talking. So I was shocked with the information she gave, but at the same time, I was like, it don't matter. It don't even matter because they were divorced at this point, so
Right.
it doesn't matter. Secondly, I was like, doesn't he have an assistant or what did I say? An assistant or a partner? I think I said maybe a partner, business partner.
Mm-hmm.
So in other words, who she's referring to, I'm sure it was nothing because it was probably his business partner. So again, I'm defending my friend's situation with her ex, like I'm sure it was business partner. Then it was but has he ever cheated? I already knew the answer. This my homegirl. We ain't never known him to be cheating or call him cheating. So I already knew the answer was no. So again, there's my defense for my friend on some like her husband. We don't know nothing about him cheating. So all that little bit right there don't even matter. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I defend it. You may have done it differently. That's fine. Do your thing, but I'm gonna do mine. Period.
Okay. So so do you still see how even it like maybe it was the editing or the way the episode was produced, but it made it seem as if you were being more protective of Destiny's response to Tiffany than Destiny. And then let's take it away from that first scene when we move on, later on, even though I understand when you explained that, you're absolutely right about that. I remember everything you said and how you were saying it. And, you were saying, hey, it wasn't nothing. So I get that. But even to Destiny, she felt as if it was a little bit more of a defense of Tiffany, and her, like her emotions were more vulnerable than Destiny's, because Destiny doesn't come off, I guess in the same, kind of manner that Tiffany does.
Okay, so with that, what I would say is Destiny is a very strong woman. Like, she handles her own. Like, I think everybody is seeing that Destiny definitely can handle her own. And that's my girl, so I already know that about her. So for me, I will go to last week, because I haven't seen this week because I was at this party. But last week, it is. Okay. I take y'all's word. Last week, whenever we were, all of the ladies, we were in Vegas and we were sitting down. Again, for me this season, it has been for me being calm, trying to be the peacemaker, trying to make sure everybody gets heard, and let's be calm with hearing each other, So even in that scene, whenever Destiny came into the conversation between Tiffany and Tisha, because they were having a combo, Destiny inserted and said what she felt. And that's fine, because my thing is this: if we all sit somewhere together, you should be able to insert if you want to and say your opinion when everybody's done talking. Now you got the floor. Not a problem. In that moment, I wanted, and it's so funny because it's like people will try to make you out to just be a certain way just because they want to. But in that moment, for me, I calmly wanted my friend to explain to Tiffany what having couth looks like for her specifically. So that way, going forward, because couth is being well-mannered. Well, that's a damn broad definition. So if your thing is have some couth with what you do, going forward, when there's a conversation that could be touchy or you don't know how it may sit with somebody, have it with them off on the side over there. Whatever that looks like for you, I try to open the door or open the floor for my friend to directly say straight up what you need going forward. So I'm a Scorpio. I don't like gray area. I don't like gray area. I like black and white. Yes. So when I said, what do you mean? Can you explain to her? It wasn't me being nasty. It wasn't me defending. I really wanted her to explain to her what she needs going forward. I will also say, because things do get edited, but we're a group that's on national television shooting a reality show. So I will be real with you. For me, these supposedly sidebar private conversations are unnecessary because we know the whole world is going to see it. There are no private conversations. There are none. Everybody's going to see it. Y'all going to see it. And the rest of the cast going to see it too. So you know what? Let's go and have it in the open. Everybody talk, get it done. Now, can we get back happy and move on? That's my take. That's how I am. Because what people don't understand is a lot of times this particular instance, and again, it was me, y'all didn't see all of it, but it was me defending my friend and her business, because here's my thing. A woman threatening another woman, I didn't want that. So I was like, oh, don't do that. And then I was like, she don't mean it, Destiny, right? Y'all didn't see all that, but I was like, Destiny, you don't mean that, do you? That's right, because you a black businesswoman, girl. You don't mean that. You just talking. So y'all didn't see all of that. But that was for me in that moment, like, let me defend my friend real quick, because you don't need folks running with that. You know what I'm saying? How you run, don't be running.
No, I felt that. I felt that in the tone. I absolutely felt that in your tone.
But y'all didn't see all of that. But I literally was like, you don't mean that to your Destiny. No, she don't mean that. Destiny is a black businesswoman. She ain't trying to hit nobody. Like, I defended her, but y'all didn't see that. But then what you also didn't see is when we got back to the sprinter, her and Tiffany was in there laughing with each other. So for me, y'all done made up real fast. So it's kind of like, I think a lot of people keep asking me to choose sides on something that I don't think is as serious as it's being made to be. I'm just being honest. Like, I'm damn confused. Are y'all cool? Are y'all not cool? I really don't know.
When you explain the backstory and your intent on saying certain things and your reactions, I'm starting to see like, okay, this makes sense as to why you would react this way and why maybe you think that it's not that serious. Because
absolutely, like I literally went in the store and I said, "What the hell?" I said, "Hold up, y'all." I said, "Cause y'all," I told both of them, "Y'all confusing me. Y'all cool or y'all ain't cool? Cause I don't even know right now. Shit, y'all in here laughing."
No, and like you said you're a Scorpio. I have to tell you, I watch the show and I'll be like, I'm a Scorpio. I would never have a conversation about, somebody spreading my friend's business somewhere else. Like, I would lose it. But once you explain, like, y'all are on the show, things are going to come out. I'm like, good point.
Absolutely. We're all going to see all the conversations that are had. We're all going to see them. Like,
no, but I do want to say this to you, Mel. At the end, when she said she was gonna drag her, you was like, "Oh, don't tell her you gonna drag her." I felt that you were trying to play it off. It's not that deep. No, I definitely felt that. So
I have been trying not to.
Yes,
I have been trying, Bondy Blue. Listen, I've been trying not to have stuff that deep this whole damn season. Do you hear me? Like, I have been trying to keep my vibrations up. I have been trying to make things light. Because there's shit that I'm going through off camera. So when I'm at work, like, I'm trying not to do all of that. Like, when I went to Destiny's house, for example, with a watermelon, that's because I wanted to, like, if you notice, watch that scene, I walked in, "Hey, what's up?" You know what I'm saying? "Oh, where's Law?" But what I got in return was, with his dad, I was like, "Oh, well, that's what I said, that's Milani's boyfriend right there, and Malia's." But what I wanted to talk to you about was, and I was like, "Yeah, damn." You know what I'm saying? So I have literally been trying to make this whole season light for me as best as possible. So you're gonna see me laugh. You're gonna see me smile, because I'm sitting here like, this can't be real. I know this. I know we ain't doing this. I know this ain't what we about to do.
So that's what it's been. Since you brought up keeping things light, I have noticed you doing that on the show. So when it comes to Martell, do you ever have moments where you're like, what's the point in having this conversation? Because it seems like y'all get into, it seems like it leads to an argument pretty often. So with you trying to keep things light, do you often think, should I have this conversation?
Absolutely. So what I will say is, now I know that no matter how cool I think things are, or how I think we're in an okay space, that doesn't mean that we can have a mature adult conversation. Because now I know that shit. Like, you ain't ready. Like, you ain't ready to be on that maturity level yet. You know what I'm saying? Right. So for me now, ain't no reason for us to talk. Like, I'm not even gonna try to. I think that for me, because I have really moved on mentally, spiritually, all of that, emotionally, for me, it's like, why can't we be cool? You know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta be enemies. But every time I kind of let my guard down just a little bit to say, okay, look, let's try to be amazing co-parents, which means us wanting the best for each other, hoping for the best for each other, not making each other's day a living hell for no reason. Every time I let my guard down for that, I always end up getting a bullet coming my way. Always.
And this is the funny part. Like, in my reviews, I always say I want Mel to be happy. I want her to be healed. And I'm like, I just want her to stop talking to Martell, because every time she do, he becomes an asshole. And I'm like, even though I feel like sometimes you force y'all to have conversations, which is fine. I'm like, but I want her to, like, not even have to deal with him, because he's not gonna be mature. Even if he wants it to happen, he won't be that way.
And that
But you
sounds
have to talk to
amazing.
him. But you
'Cause
have
we're
to
on the
talk to
show.
him. Yeah, that's what I
And
always
we're on the
say.
show. Like, it's like, we're on the show together. So it makes it very tough. It makes it very, very tough. But I think even this season, if you notice, we didn't have that many scenes together. You know what I'm saying? So that breakaway, I feel, is definitely happening. And my prayer is that eventually one day, maybe help prayer, Jesus, eventually one day there can be a level of respect and a level of maturity that doesn't cause conflict when we're in the same room or whenever we're having to have conversations. I will say for me, at this moment, it really is about our kids need both parents to be mentally stable and to be in a great place mentally. Us coming at each other, doing all that, that's not doing that. And truth be told, when it comes to social media stuff, like really taking jabs, I do my music. Absolutely. That's my music career that I'm working on. But when it comes to jabs, posting stuff and coming, all hard, I don't do that. I react. When I see something, you're going to make me react because now I got to defend myself. But I don't start that shit. I'm not waking up every day choosing violence. I'm not. So.
Okay. I kind of want to go back to Destiny real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So like on the show, most of you guys are transparent. Like the cast that's been around for some time. We're still learning about Tiffany and Lewis. But for Destiny, she's been around, I believe, for this is probably her second season.
Mm-hmm.
What are your thoughts about her not opening up and sharing her life when everyone else is so transparent?
I mean, whenever she's ready, she will.
Yeah.
So for you and Ms. Wanda, do you and Ms. Wanda get along outside of the show? Because it seems like she's always messy, but is it ever like off the show? Is she ever not being Miss Wanda being messy? Is there a calm, cool Wanda we don't know yet?
Listen,
who you know, but we don't know.
Let's be real. I mean, I'm the youngest on the cast. So I don't see folks outside of most of them anyway. I don't see most of them. We don't roll in the same. Me and Wanda definitely ain't rolling in the same places. So I really don't see Wanda for real. But she did come. I had a performance in Birmingham, and she was there, and it was so funny because she was in the front, all extra and stuff. It was funny to me though. But whenever after I got off the stage, she came, we hugged and stuff. Hey, Miss, I was like, hey, Miss Wanda, it's so good to see you. Thank you for coming. She's like, yeah, I didn't even know you was gonna be here. Then later, my publicist was like, girl, I heard Wanda talking about you. She didn't know you was gonna be here. Talking about, so she got here. She was the first one talking about some when Melody go on. Then she going on. So, but other than that, honestly, I don't see Miss Wanda.
Okay. So I want to ask about these recent Instagram posts that Martell put out.
Okay.
It's actually quite annoying to us as women because we feel like at the end of the day, Martell, if it was any real truth to it, you wouldn't be trying to get back with Mel the way you are, because that's not the way you men work. If your woman were actually outside of y'all marriage doing half of the stuff that you have admitted to doing, you would not be trying to be back with her. You would be trying to devalue her. And he does that anyway, but in a way of, I don't want to be with her. So can you clarify what he put out there with the names and all of that?
Absolutely. So what I will say is, for me, when I was in my marriage, I was in my marriage. Anybody I talked to after I walked away from my marriage is really nobody's business. It doesn't matter because I walked away and I didn't go back. Like, I filed the papers. So anything after that, I don't matter. What I would say is, when I was in marriage, I was in my marriage. I've never dated, entertained an engaged man nor a married man. Never will. I'm just kind of, I'm on a different level, if I can say that way. I'll be for transparent. There's someone right now who tries to talk to me all the time, right? And just like, hey, can we go out? Can we go to lunch? No, because I know your ex-wife. Like, I'm not her friend. We're not cool, but I know her. So I'm that kind of person. So for him to make those allegations, I think that it's just really low, very disrespectful. And again, never have, never would, date a married nor engaged man. No, thank you. I'm good on that. If I want to do some shit like that, I could have stayed with my husband and kept my kids all in the same house with their mom and daddy. If I wanted, if I wanted to play that.
Right.
And even if you didn't
True.
explain that, I feel like we were already thinking what you just said.
Because no one
No,
believes
for
For the
Martell.
interview's sake. Okay.
Yeah, no one believes him.
Right, right.
Real talk, real talk.
Oh,
And I mean,
okay.
I think the part for me that for him to be like, and this was all when we were happily married and before my mess. What? I was like,
Yeah.
how did
Yep.
I was like, how did he just wake up and choose violence today? Like,
Mhm.
let me tell y'all, I don't get, and literally the night before, we were texting. And it was positive text because my daughter had a project. I was making sure that my staff dropped it off so she could take it to school the next day. Did she like the game board? Blah, 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 blah. He's like, man, she loved it. We texted positive. Then the next morning I wake up, I'm like, so you can't sit here in my face and tell me that you want a positive co-parenting relationship. That's bullshit. That's a lie.
Mhm.
Because you continue to do these things. Like,
Right.
don't say that. You're lying. It's I can say that I don't wake up choosing to make nobody's life difficult. I literally want him to be happy and move on so he can be happy. So then hopefully he'll leave me alone. Like, it's over. It's done.
Yeah.
Heal and move on. Let it go. Just let it go.
The way I always imagine y'all is so funny. I feel like this is the metaphor that I imagine in my mind. Y'all are both swimming. Martell don't know how to swim, so he clinging on to you and trying to drag you down and make you look bad. Like that's all I keep seeing every time I see y'all on screen.
But you
together.
know what I
Martell-
hate? You know what I hate? I hate that he hasn't realized yet that every time he pulls stuff like that, it backfires on him.
Right.
I don't know if he's realized it yet or not. Apparently not. But you keep coming for me, and the universe keep making that shit backfire on you. So stop. You know what I'm saying? Like, stop.
Right.
Digging
Stop.
his own grave.
And then say that I'm the cause of your business deals not going well. No, people don't like all the bullshit you're doing. Because if you don't have no loyalty over here, then they're looking at it like, shit, you ain't got no loyalty. You ain't gonna have no loyalty in business either.
I feel like the common theme that I've noticed with a lot of the men on the show and period,
Mhm.
like society wise, is this lack of accountability.
Yeah.
And I think that goes across the board for Martell, for Marceau, even for Maurice, that it's a lot of, even though they're wrong, somehow it gets to be your fault in some type of
Yeah.
way. His response to you, how he handles himself, all in some way has to be somebody else's fault and or responsibility. And
Yeah.
it's starting to get hard to even like not see it because it happens so much.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So speaking of relationships, over the past 3 seasons now, we've seen you and Tisha have ups and downs. So where would you say y'all are on y'all's friendship, and how are you continuing to build on it, if that's where y'all are at right now?
Absolutely. So again, for me, coming into this new season, for me, it was about let's have peace, like not all this drama, bullcrap, whatever. I want to stay in the space that I'm in. And I made that very clear before I started filming. And so that is why you saw the effort on my end. You know, I invited her to my home, came over, she brought the wine. It was literally me, like I just wasn't about to do all that with nobody. Me and Martell ended up, having a couple of fallouts, but I wasn't checking for that. So overall, what I would say is she and I had a much better filming season this time around.
Filming
Good.
season. What about outside of filming?
I don't really see her outside of filming.
Okay.
But to be clear, I mean, in all honesty, I don't really see any of them as a destiny. I'll be honest with you. Filming for me is a lot. So when I'm done filming and I have so many other things I'm doing and I have going on, I need a break from everybody. Just about like, leave me alone. Don't talk to me. Bye. I gotta get my energy back on point. You know what I'm saying? Like, filming is a lot. And so, I break away. Like, I probably right after this season, for like 2-3 weeks, nobody hardly heard from me. No one. because I needed time to get myself back together after the BS.
Gotcha. This question is about Marceau. Destiny mentioned that there were some rumors around town that's been out for quite some time about Marceau and a side baby. Are you privy to those rumors as well?
Not at all. I know about the Twitter lady who said it. I don't know anything about it.
Okay. So since the season is kind of wrapping up right now, I know Carlos put out that the reunion will be recording or airing soon. What are you looking forward to the most, and what are you not looking forward to
Girl,
the most for the
let me
reunion?
tell you. What I'm looking forward to the most is I'm gonna be sitting on the stage looking real cute, looking real pretty, and not doing that damn drama. Okay, that's what I'm be doing.
We here for
It's gonna be the easiest reunion ever.
So what's one thing that you're not looking forward to that you think you may want to avoid if you could at the reunion?
Girl, the elephant. No, Martell. I mean, that's it. But even in that, I've already made up my mind. I'm not even about to go back and forth with him. Like, I just, man, it's too much work to get in a positive space. It's too much work to get there to let it just go for BS. You know what I'm saying? Nope. I'm gonna be up there looking real cute, real pretty, and I ain't finna fuss with nobody.
Take your piece.
Yep.
Okay.
Mental health. Period.
Mental health. So, do you have anything else going on that you would like to tell us about?
Absolutely. You know, I'm always doing stuff. So my next class is coming up October 18th. I'm so excited about my new students for that. My skincare line is launching November the 11th. So make sure you go to 7th Avenue Premier Skincare. You know, I had to rebrand Embrace Beauty and all that stuff, apply for my trademark. I had to then come up with a new skincare name, which took me some time because I was like, I like for things to mean something. You know what I'm saying? So finally I came up with that. I have a lipstick line that's about to come out. I'm still working on my music. I've got a book that's coming out around my birthday. I've got gigs that keep being booked for that I'm doing. Like, I'm just busy working. God has been blessing me. God is amazing. And that's how I know that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I'm handling things in a way that's pleasing because these blessings ain't just coming out the sky.
Right.
Yeah.
So I saw on a preview to next week's episode that Martell was sitting down with you about the kids and other people watching the kids. Have you guys like fully resolved that issue, or is that still something you're working on going forward?
Girl, let me tell you something. First of all, listen. So here's the thing. I am a working mother. Okay? A working mother that is now a single mother thanks to your shenanigans. Okay. So whatever I got to do to make sure I continue to do what I got to do for me and these kids, none of your business, for real. Because if you got such an issue, you should have thought about that before you did all the stuff you did to cause us to live separately. I know it was comfy for me to be at home with the kids and you be out because you knew we were safe and sound and they eating good and they going to bed on time and all this stuff. But it's different now. It's different. So if it's my time to have the children and I happen to have an event or I happen to have a meeting that I have to take, then yes, I have a full staff.
Come on now.
Come on. Real talk. Full staff.
Girl, you better give us the end of what's love got to do with. Okay, come and see me.
Me and my baby, we gonna be all right. We gonna live a good life.
Okay. So does Martell work? Because he was like, let me get the kids. I'm like, so you don't work?
I don't, girl, it's the way you say it. I don't know. That's the thing. I'm not intrusive on what he has going on, what he's doing, who he's doing. Girl, I don't be caring about nothing about him. I don't. Like, I don't ask him those kinds of questions. I don't really ask him no questions.
I know last season, you know, this is my last thing. I know last season it was, the conversation with the therapist.
Yeah.
Will you ever be in a place to where you would be okay with you being in the same room with your kids as sibling? Would you ever get to that point, or do you feel like that's more for him to handle, to have the kids around the sibling? Do you have any comment on that?
Well, I have no reason. Okay, so I have no reason to be around, his other child. None. Like, that has nothing to do with me. What I volunteered was to be present when he told our kids about that so that they could see I was okay, I wasn't bothered, I wasn't hurt. So then hopefully their reaction could be better. That's what I volunteered to do. I have no reason to be around his other child. That has nothing to do with me.
So if y'all had like a birthday party for one of the kids, like it's just
it may will be it will probably be a situation where because of boundaries and respecting of such, if he had a birthday party for one of the kids and he felt like he wanted the other child there, I would let him have his own party with them. And then I would also have my own party. Like I'm not, and it could be a day after, 2 days after the birthday. Like that don't matter. I would have my party with my kid and who I want there. You know what I'm saying?
So that's your boundary that you set.
Yeah,
that you set for yourself.
I ain't got nothing. That's a nada. There's no reason.
I
did y'all talk to the kids yet? Like, do the kids know yet, or is that gonna happen maybe later in the season? I don't know if that may be within the next episode. If y'all have had that conversation with the kids at all yet?
No, they don't know.
Still to this day.
I would say dope and walk off, but I can't. But I'm Lord Jesus.
And it's not my place. And so for me, I find myself really being respectful because I'm like, I could have been told them. And that's why I hate when he tries to make it seem like I just want him to seem like some terrible person. And I'm not out here trying to do all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna do my facts. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but at the end of the day, that's for him to tell. That's his secret, not mine. Again, I volunteered to be present if he wanted me to, for support for the kids. But it really, I like real talk, y'all. I don't think one way or the other about that because that really ain't none of my business.
Okay.
I got too much other business going on over here.
I have one last question, and I just want to know.
No, girl, you can't ask one last question.
Just one. When are we about to go? Were you buying his clothes? Because he has not bought new ones since you left. Like the clothes don't fit. the shirt and the shorts when y'all would get, we felt bad. We thought he couldn't breathe. Like I just.
No, I wasn't buying. No, Martell really, believe it or not, he's always been a person pretty much, good when it came to fashion. So no, I wasn't that wife out here buying his clothes and stuff. He dressed himself.
Girl,
always.
He needs to up a size.
Y'all did good casting your husband for your music video though. That was. I said y'all did good. Yeah, you did good casting your husband for your music video.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah. It was good. We enjoyed. Necey actually listens to the song like every other day. So
Thanks.
It's that part where you say you about to bring the Scorpio out of me. I'll be like, yup, that's
right. That's right. Like real talk. People don't understand. We're real cool. We're very loyal. We don't like gray area. We're straight up. We will love you to the end of the moon, but push us up against the wall and we gonna strike at your ass. That's how we roll. Like,
exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Mel, for coming and spending some time with us.
I enjoyed
y'all and enjoy your party. Thank you so much.
I enjoyed y'all. Make sure everyone watching, go download Tell Signs, honey. It's on all of the streaming platforms. Make sure you guys watch the video. And of course, stay tuned for my next songs, my Chick of the Year award. That's gonna be so dope along with the video. So stay tuned.
We're excited.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Mel.
Thank you so much, Mel.
All right, y'all. Good night, y'all.
Good night.
Have fun.
All right, y'all. Okay, so I would have opened up the comments and saw what you guys were saying, but because this video started out unlisted, even though it's not, I can't see the comments.
Yeah, we can't see the comments.
Which I think is probably a blessing, but I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Because y'all know y'all be tearing us up in the comments when we don't ask all of the terrible questions that y'all want us to ask people. Want us to ruin our connections with people so y'all could be messy. Go to hell. Anyway,
we wasn't ignoring anybody. We couldn't see nothing. I'm like,
child, we didn't need to see. I was moving around things and all of that. But I enjoyed it. I'm so glad that she came on. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Ladies, do y'all have any last sentiments or things you might want to say? Maybe like, about the show or whatever. It's up to you.
Catch all our reviews. I'm going live tomorrow to review the episode.
Yeah.
It was fun.
My notes.
Same here. Going live tomorrow at 1:30. So
okay. And you're gonna
thanks for joining us.
So I'm gonna try to go for noon since everybody's gonna,
because I'm
Yeah,
11.
I'm always later anyway, so
So
Yeah.
just go ahead and just stop. I'm 11. Jamie's 1:30. Bonnie gonna go for noon, and Jaylee later on.
I'm
Okay.
already at
Well,
4.
Jamie had left us like,
I think our signal fell.
Okay, well that sucks. But thank y'all so much for coming through. We appreciate. Oh, she's back because I hate to say bye when it's not all of us.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys.
Anything to add,
Clicked
Jamie?
Nothing to add. Thank you guys so much for joining. I said nothing to add, and here I go adding. Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining us. It was a great interview. You guys were great down in the comments. I was seeing y'all, and yeah, make sure y'all check out our reviews tomorrow to see it.
And come to Jamie because Jamie is on Thursday, so
Oh,
make
yes.
sure that our panel that Thursday is on Jamie's channel.
Thank you, Jaylee.
Make
That's
sure.
right.
Okay, our social media here. Follow us at the OohLadiesFirstPanel on Instagram. Email us at OohLadiesFirstPanel@gmail.com. Follow me at Bondy Blue on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. And I'm on Facebook, but I don't be on there. Follow Jami at Jami ThatsMe on everything. Follow Jay Lee's Corner on YouTube and Twitter, J_Lee's_Corner on Instagram. And follow Necey at Necey Dixon. We appreciate you guys so much for joining us. But before we go out, we're going to ask you to do one thing before we go. Yeah, that's right. We gave y'all that interview. We did that. Okay. In and out. Under an hour. Fuck with us. Y'all know y'all loved it. Like the video. Support the channel. Okay. Support all the Ooh Ladies First members. Okay. The collective. The panel. Thank you, mods. We greatly appreciate it. All right.
I was thirsty.
We love you guys, and we're going to end it here. Peace out.